On this edition of The Right Stand, and this is something that's happening much closer home to India. That is Pakistan and China, who are holding the third edition of its naval exercise. It's the Sea Guardian 3. This time, they have increased its scope exponentially, is what they say. The exercise will see China and Pakistan conduct joint maritime patrols for the very first time. Now, this is a 9-day drill in the Arabian Sea. It will conclude in 2 days from now. China and Pakistan are fair weather allies. They're enhancing their defense cooperation. It specifically works well for China, who's trying to consolidate its presence in the Indian Ocean. The drill will include several training programs. It includes formation maneuvering. It includes something called VBSS. It means visit, board, search and seize a ship if needed. Helicopter cross-deck landing, joint search rescue, joint anti-submarine operations, main gun shooting and professional exchanges will also be witnessed during this time. The two countries are aiming to strengthen their strategic partnership and traditional friendships. They're trying to send a message to New Delhi at a time when India is emerging as a global world leader. So what do China and Pakistan hope to achieve, and should India be concerned? We'll get our experts to weigh in on that, but first let's look at some facts. What has transpired over the last 5 days? This is a week-long exercise. China is showing off its military strength. Here's a look at the capacity of military assets that have been deployed by China for this exercise at the Karachi port. Beijing has sent a destroyer. There are 2 modern frigates, a conventional attack submarine and a submarine support ship as well for the Sea Guardian 3. First up is the destroyer Zibo. It was commissioned in 2020. It is capable of striking at adversaries in the air, on surface and even underwater. It's considered among the world's biggest and most capable destroyers. Zibo is equipped with a single 130mm gun and 5 different types of radars. It has a vertical launch systems. It can fire cruise, anti-ship and anti-submarine missiles. The destroyer is manned by at least 280 crew members. Now, China has also deployed 2 of its most deployed frigates around the world. They're also participating in this particular exercise. These frigates are known for their versatility, for their cost effectiveness, and they're fitted with advanced weapons and sensors. For anti-submarine operations, the frigate is equipped with 2 6-tube rocket launchers as well. It can also support a single medium-sized helicopter on it. Now, the Chinese flotilla that is at the Karachi port is also comprising a submarine support vessel. It's touted as the most comprehensive rescue vessel. It is attached to the PLA's Northern Theatre Command. Along with these vessels is China's first indigenously built diesel-electric powered Type 039 submarine. This is what we're gathering from reports. Global Times is reporting this. From the Pakistani side, there are several that have been deployed, including 9 vessels. It includes the PNS Shah Jahan and PNS Saif. 3 shipborne helicopters, 4 fighter jets, 1 fixed-wing anti-submarine patrol aircraft, and dozens of Marines from the Pakistani side are involved in this exercise. Now, this exercise is, as far as the Indian context is concerned, is very, very important because of the location of it. The exercise is taking place very, very close to the India's western seaboard. While this is not the first time that the two countries are involved in such a joint exercise, the deployment of assets is crucial in the current geopolitical situation. Sources within the Ministry of Defense here in India have told us that they are monitoring the movement of the Chinese ships and submarines that are participating in this exercise and will look into it further. But should India be worried? Well, there are several concern areas. One, to begin with, is that China and Pakistan both want to contain the Indian influence. India is emerging as a global power in multiple platforms. As far as multiple sectors are concerned, that definitely does unnerve both those allies. Another area of concern is that both these nations are seeking to create a strategic buffer as far as trying to push India into a corner or sandwich India into the middle is concerned. Both of them are known for their misadventures as well. They both hope to launch fresh territorial challenges to India. Another big concern would be that this is the largest naval drill that we've seen yet between the two countries. China's modernization and enhancement of Pakistan's navy is also a reason for concern. China is going to be equipping Pakistan, as has been already doing so, with much more as far as its military arsenal is concerned. Clearly, the high seas are a topmost priority for Pakistan and for China, and their obvious goal really is to mount a bigger challenge in the Indo-Pacific region. New Delhi will have to be wary. And that's the second debate here on The Right Stand. Joining me on this broadcast is Sushant Sareen. He continues with us from debate number 1, senior fellow at the ORF. Major General retired Sanjay Meston, defense expert, also joining us here on this broadcast. Major General Meston, I want to get you in first. And my question is simple. Should India be worried?
Yeah, absolutely. India needs to be worried for only two reasons. Firstly, this is the largest exercise conducted in the recent time. The first exercise was conducted in 2000 on the Arabian Sea and thereafter in the Shanghai coast, and this time it is here. But this time the number of ships participating are very, very big, 9 and 6, total 15 ships from each side. Nine is of the Chinese, the Pakistan side, and 6 ships are from China. So that is point one. It is the largest, and number two is that this time they are going in for anti-marine capabilities and also the joint recce surveillance. So this is a matter of concern, and the fact of the matter is, since it is in Arabian Sea, so obviously it is a matter of concern. But to put it the other way, these are regular exercises. India also holds exercise. We have also done with the ASEAN countries and with the United States in South China Sea in the Pacific Ocean. So these are quite routine and regular exercise, but this time the magnitude and the intent, that is little difference. And the fact of the matter is that in the longer run, I also foresee that China will extract something out of these exercises, because its long-term strategic aim would be to dock certain of its ships at the Gwadar port after the CPIC is totally formalized. So this would be one of its aim, and its hold in Arabian Sea on the Indian Ocean will increase, Chinese hold, because they already have a naval base in Djibouti. So all these things definitely become a matter of concern for the Indian Navy, and you rightly pointed out, we have no option but to monitor, and obviously we'll also resort to more large-scale exercises in the future with other countries. So yes, the matter of concern is there, and we'll be monitoring.
Yes, and the timing may be a coincidence, Sushant Sureen, but we just had the 2+2 dialogue as far as India and the United States is concerned. The Indo-Pacific region, our security in the region, the defense cooperation between the two countries was high on agenda. And on the back of this, we see this major naval exercise being undertaken by Pakistan and China, both countries known for their misadventures as far as India is concerned.
That's true, Poonam. See, the thing is that both the 2+2 as well as these exercises would not have been done overnight. And obviously there is an element of signaling, diplomatic and strategic signaling, which is there behind these exercises. Also, insofar as the magnitude of these exercises is concerned, at another level, we've held even bigger exercises with countries like the US under the Malabar, exercise, which we hold every year, and those exercises bring in carrier battle groups and all kinds of other ships. So we've also held those exercises, but there is a critical difference when we hold exercises with countries like the US, Australia, Japan, and the Pakistanis and the Chinese hold a joint exercise. There is an element of collusion between these two countries. They are military allies, and there is an apprehension. Forget apprehension. There is almost a certainty that both of them will act together when it comes to a military misadventure, especially when it's aimed against India. So when these two guys carry out any kind of exercise, it does, and it should set alarm bells ringing in India. I think we would be monitoring these exercises. I would imagine that we would also be trying to take some kind of countermeasures to the kind of collusion that we expect to happen between both these countries. We must also not forget that China's footprint in the Indian Ocean, not only the eastern side of the Indian Ocean, but also the western side of the Indian Ocean, is gradually increasing. I think General Meston talked about the base in Djibouti. There is a very serious apprehension that Gwadar or one of the other bases along the Makran coast in Pakistan could be handed over to China as a quid pro quo, because Pakistan simply can't pay back the debts. And then there is an apprehension of the new government in Maldives giving another base or basing facilities to the Chinese along straddling the sea lanes. And if that happens, then clearly China becomes a major player in this region. So yes, it becomes a major strategic challenge for us. And the Indian Ocean is now fast becoming extremely crowded. because there are other extra-regional powers also which are present out here, and they would also be responding to the challenges that the Chinese are going to throw. And the strategic game in the Indian Ocean region is becoming a lot more complex than what it was maybe a decade or more back.
Yes.
And then, of course, it's not just about what the China-Pakistan collusion is on in the maritime domain, but it's also there as far as the land domain is concerned. And we are seeing a lot of that also take place. But I think India would be remiss if it was not to take these exercises very seriously and with a great amount of concern, and perhaps also work out the kind of countermeasures if this collusion becomes much more operational than what it is right now.
Yes. And we're talking about the growing presence as far as China is concerned, Major General Meston. We were talking about the different, both on the eastern and the western front, the string of pearls that China is really trying to do with all of the ports that we're seeing in this region. They're also not just training and not just holding these drills with Pakistan, but they're also trying to modernize the Pakistan armed forces, so to say. And it works on multiple levels for China, isn't it? One, of course, is to protect its interests as far as the CPEC project is concerned, but it's also to try and give them a backup flank, so to say, as far as the Indian Ocean is concerned, where India's presence definitely is growing. The Indo-Pacific region is concerned.
Yeah, very true. And therefore, what these exercises are also encompassing is the modernization of the Pakistan Navy, especially. We are aware even Turkey has recently given them submarines and frigates, and especially China. They are also doing joint collaboration of working of the Agor class submarine, which again, I think the Chinese interest, not only strategic interest, they also have the sales interest. Obviously, they would like to sell all their frigates and destroyers to Pakistan. And we are aware that recently they had just given 4 of the guided missile destroyers also. So it has got that interest also, and therefore modernization is one of the important facets. And I think in the near future, I also foresee that not only the bilateral exercises between Pakistan and China, I think in the near future we can also see Turkey joining in. And Turkey in the this Middle East conflict has been making a lot of noises, and somehow it is going little anti-West in its rhetoric. So therefore, I feel that, and Turkey is never have been aligned to India in any manner. Both of us were in Afghanistan, so we know that also, how Turkey has tried to make inroads in Pakistan, and Pakistan and Turkey has got very good relationship.
Yes.
So we should not be surprised in the near future these 3 nations would also look for modernization, for having a lot of inroads in Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. And therefore, to that intent, modernization would be one of the important aspects which the Pakistan Navy would really like to go ahead, because it's getting support from China, it is getting support from Turkey. And I think Turkey is also resorting to making in joint collaboration certain of the ships here. And I think just about few months back, Turkey had given them the ships.
Yes.
So the Agor class submarine of China, which again has been a joint production, and it is being produced in both the countries. So this has also got the diplomatic and the business point of view.
Yes.
So the sales would increase, and Pakistan Navy definitely is leading to is heading towards modernization. And even in this exercise, they are also talking about cross landing of the helicopters on each other's deck. So this is again going to be something of interest. So the collaboration which Mr. Sushant has also highlighted, these are all matters of concern, and this
Absolutely,
time,
and I'm sure at the highest levels here in India, we're all being wary of what exactly is transpiring, and we're more than equipped to deal with any of these circumstances spiraling out of control if they do. But I do have to leave it at that. I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective.